Hey, today I'm out in the shop replacing the transmission fluid cooler on my 2005 F-150 Lariat with a 5.4 liter with an automatic transmission. This applies to any 2004 to 2008 F-150 with an automatic transmission. Some things you're going to need to do this job are a transmission fluid cooler and a new fluid cooler from Dorman here. I'll put a link to all the parts and tools in the video description so you can check those out if you want to. And if you purchase them from the link, then I get a small commission for the channel. Doesn't cost you anything additionally, but it helps out the channel. You're also going to need a couple brushes, some PB Blaster to clean up those fittings, those quick disconnects on the bottom of the cooler. You're going to need an 8mm head size socket. I'm using a socket, deep well socket extension, and a 1/4 inch ratchet. That's all you need. It's just 8mm. You don't need to use a deep well, but I always like using a deep well. It lets you get your fingers on those small sockets a little easier. And then you're also going to need some kind of a line tool, a quick disconnect tool. These are called the transmission oil cooler scissors. They go for either 1/2 inch, which some Fords, some of the F-250s have 1/2 inch lines going to their cooler, and then 3/8. So we're going to use the 3/8 end of this tool, or I have another tool here. This is a Schumacher quick disconnect tool. This is an 8021. It's a nice little tool. It's got a nice feature of having a notch on the end so you can push it on to the line, transmission line, and then it also has a similar size disconnect working end here, and it's got a rubber band to help hold it together. It's a nice little tool. I'll put a link to this and the Stiles tool in the video description also. And before I get started, if you find this video helpful, consider subscribing and letting me know in the comments. I have many other videos with general automotive work, modifications, and tips. So be sure to check those out on my channel. On each side of the bottom of the transmission cooler, there's a quick disconnect where the lines attach to the cooler. Put your disconnect tool around the line, push it up into the quick disconnect connector, and then pull the line down to pull it out of the cooler. On the cooler end of the lines, they had a little protective plastic cover, and this one came down when I was wire brushing it. So then the other one just came down with a fingernail. To remove the transmission fluid cooler, it's two 8mm head size bolts, one on each of the mounting brackets, the right side of the truck and then the left side of the truck. Once you have the two bolts off, and I cut the lines underneath, so I'm replacing the lines in conjunction with doing the oil cooler. So now it's just a matter of manipulating it to get it out. I still have part of the line on this side, so that's giving me a little bit of trouble. I'll time lapse this for you. That's it. I had to replace it because I broke off this quick disconnect anyway. The quick disconnect, 25 bucks or something on Amazon for each of these quick disconnects, or you can get the whole cooler for about 60 bucks. So I'm replacing the cooler, and mine didn't have a lot of life left in it. These brackets are now plastic on the newer coolers, and mine are about to rust through, and you can see this one has already come loose here. So it's due to be replaced. So it's gonna be like having a new system with the lines and a new cooler. The old cooler would have came out easier if I would have removed this hood latch. It's a 10mm head size bolt and then simply pull it to the left, and it has a plastic little notch on it, little slot, and then a notch on the latch, and remove it. Yeah, I don't think I can get the new cooler in without removing it. The plastic brackets on the bottom of the cooler are much thicker than the metal ones were. So you can see I've got the two 8mm bolts back in the new cooler brackets, and I've just got to hook the two lines back up. Cap off the return line and the cap off the new transmission cooler. And push the tube up into the cooler. Let's see. Oh, the sweet sound of that click. Feels like it's positively locked into there. That's good. And we can let it turn here as it wants to. So yeah, there we go. Pretty good. With that second click of the cooler line, all I have to do is top off the transmission with fluid, run the truck, make sure that the air is purged out of the cooler, and check for leaks, and then top off the transmission fluid one more time, and then I'm done. So that concludes the video. If you found it helpful, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe. I look forward to your comments.